What is going on, everybody? Welcome to our first collection video of 2019. You can see that the game shelf is empty, and by the end of this episode we will fill that up with Super Nintendo games. Now, boom, here is my complete in-box Super Nintendo. That is not my original one from back in the day. I got this at a garage sale for like $100, and it came with a bunch of games which I sold off, made my money back. So I got this basically for free. You know how we do it. But this 16-bit powerhouse has an awesome library of games. It's a veteran of the 16-bit wars. So let's just take a look at the collection. I'll get this set up. Check out this awesome Super Nintendo commercial from back in the day.
Introducing the next generation from Nintendo. New Super Mario World, created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more challenging, a bit more graphic, a bit more colorful, a bit more realistic, a bit more levels, a bit more secret, a bit more enemies, a bit more friends, a bit more sound, a bit hotter, a bit cooler, a bit weird, a bit more revolutionary, a bit more Mario, a bit more of what you want. It's 16-bit, and it's yours only if you get new Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
So if you've ever seen any of my collection videos before, you know we don't really show off all the sports games. There they are. That is my stack of Super Nintendo sports games. I did pick out a couple that I wanted to talk about kind of briefly, just because I had great memories of these games when I was a kid. First one is Champions World Class Soccer. Highly recommend it. Love this game. You gotta understand, I was born in 1978, so when I was 12 in 1990-ish, you know, there was a World Cup, and then there was a World Cup in 94, and then there was the Olympics in 92. It was just in the Olympics in 96, of course, in Atlanta, but it was just a great time to be a sports fan and be a kid. And I always loved soccer. Played a little soccer in high school on the JV reserve backup team, but we're not going to talk about that. Didn't get much playing time. And but I love this game, and I definitely recommend it. It's dirt cheap right now and forever. Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt Baseball. Again, being a baseball kid, Ken Griffey Jr. was the best baseball player I've ever seen in my life. But Frank Thomas was pretty awesome too. And this game features a very cool home run mode that shows you how far you hit the ball. It's the first game I remember that actually had home run derby in it. And we played with Barry Bonds, Frank Thomas, David Justice, all them guys, Ken Griffey Jr., Cal Ripken. So those were great. But football was it. Love football. NFL Quarterback Club. This is just your run-of-the-mill football game. It's got your season mode, your exhibition mode, all that stuff. But what makes that game really special is that there's a skills assessment. Remember when they used to show those on ESPN, where the quarterbacks would run around and throw the ball with the paint on it, and it would hit the big targets? It's got that game on there, which is awesome. And then we can't talk about football without talking about Tecmo Super Bowl. The Super Nintendo sequel to the Nintendo version. Just a great game, and I love the expanded playbooks, the fumbles, everything. It was just a great game. So, traditionally what I do is I just show these off real quick if this is the first collection video of mine that you're seeing, and if there's any that we need to stop and talk about, we'll stop and talk about. Here's Jason Vectrex's favorite game, Barbie, Rocko's Modern Life, Super Solitaire, Batman Forever. Man, I had really high hopes for that game, but it sucks. Best of the Best Championship Karate, Off-Road Baja Edition, Super Pinball, Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday, which I actually played through this just for the hell of it. Not a bad little platformer for a kid's game. Next stack, Mario Paint. A couple of years ago at a garage sale, there was a complete copy of that in the big box. They wanted like 20 or 25 bucks for it. I was like, I'm not paying 25 bucks for that. I kick myself every day. Metal Combat. Zool. Not the one from Ghostbusters. This is the Ninja of the Nth Dimension. Beethoven. Lethal Enforcers. Great arcade game. Scooby-Doo. Vegas Stakes. I remember playing a lot of that when I was a kid. Math Blaster. Some good old edutainment. We've got Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure. A game that I haven't played, but it's a game I want to play. And Desert Strike. Skull Jagger. Never played that one. Dragon's Lair. Uniracers. I think I played that once, couldn't figure it out. Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls. This is one of my childhood games. This is my childhood copy right here. And yes, it's not a very good game, but we loved it as kids. Street Fighter 2. Super Battle Tank 2. Super Battle Tank. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Demolition Man, one of my favorite movies from back in the day. Paperboy 2. Turn and Burn No Fly Zone. Here we go. Super Return of the Jedi. Super R-Type. D-Force. Stay away from that one. Here's a cool one, True Lies. It kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park. It's sort of that top-down action game kind of thing. Really awesome. Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage. Frogger. Earth Defense Force. In my opinion, one of the better shooters on the Super Nintendo. Young Merlin with a not so minty label. Warrior Woods. Stunt Racer, which I got from a Retro Rec Room for $7, which is cool. F-Zero, classic. I think that's my childhood copy of that. We used to play the hell out of F-Zero, man. It was awesome. Maui Mauer and Cold Shoulder. I love Indiana Jones and James Bond stuff, but Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures, had to have that for the Super Nintendo. It's a game I need to spend more time with, though. My childhood copy of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, my favorite Street Fighter in the series. Alien 3. Phantom 2049, which I also got from Retro Rec Room. That was $10.99, so good deal on that. Super Empire Strikes Back. Out of the Super Star Wars games, this is my favorite. I've always loved Empire Strikes Back. Paladin's Quest. Beat up copy of Goof Troop. I'd actually like to label upgrade that eventually in the future. We've got Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I will never complete any of the Super Ghosts and Goblins games because they are too tough. Out of This World. Dino City. Underrated game right here, actually. Choplifter 3. A lot of people don't even know that that game exists. But if you ever played Choplifter on like the Master System or the Atari back in the day, it's sort of like that. Well, it's almost exactly like that. But it's got like updated graphics and missions and weapons and stuff. So it's actually pretty awesome. Darius Twin. Good game to have there. I think I got that at Warp Zone for like $10 or something. PTO. One of those Koei strategy games. Super Strike Eagle. The Lion King. Disney games on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo were the best. Must be Monday. Must be Mortal Monday. Mortal Kombat. Love that game. Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Don't love that game. Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct's good. And we've got X-Men. Super Arkanoid. No, Arkanoid. Do it again. There you go. Aladdin, another Disney game. The Wizard of Oz. Toy Story. Fighter's History. Primal Rage. Super Star Wars. I know you guys are like, you don't keep your games in order? No, I don't keep my games in order. They're in a box. So if I need them, I just go to the box. Game I picked up recently, Flashback. Added that to the collection for free. Spawn, added that one for free. Populous, added that for free. And T2, those were some of the games I got out of that lot. Supernova, another shooter. Now I've heard this pronounced both ways. I've heard this game pronounced Zardian, because it starts with an X-A-R. But I've also heard it pronounced Exardian. So, whatever your pleasure. We've got Fatal Fury 2. Beat up copy there. King of the Monsters. Spider-Man X-Men. Phalanx, which has the most unusual cover art of any video game ever. It's an old guy with a banjo. And there's a spaceship in the background. Lethal Weapon, not a bad little platformer there. Bubsy. Can't say the same thing about Bubsy. Childhood copy right here, Jurassic Park. Love this game, love Jurassic Park. The only problem with this game is it doesn't feature a save or a password function. So if you want to beat this game, you have to sit down and play it all in one sitting, which I've completed this game one time, and I actually did that. I just took a Saturday. It was like, I'm just going to play Jurassic Park all day until I finish it. And we finally got to the end. Mortal Kombat 3. Very good shooter on the Super Nintendo. UN Squadron Capcom game. And we've got Kirby Superstar Saga. Beat my first Kirby game this year. It was Kirby on the NES, so that was awesome. All right, here we go. Rounding it out, man. We're getting into the bagged games, which means we're getting to the better games. We've got Doom. I bought these bags, by the way, from Retro Protection. You get like 100 of them for like 10 bucks, so pretty good deal on those. Doom. Got this from the Cincinnati Retro Game Hunter. Death and Return of Superman. We were just watching Superman Batman last night. The Seventh Saga. The Lost Vikings. Super Bomberman 2. There we go. And Q*bert 3, randomly like a $20 game, believe it or not. So if you ever see Q*bert 3, make sure you pick that up. Super Double Dragon, a game that I definitely want to make time to beat. I love the combo system in that game and the moves. Sim Ant. Some of you guys out there are getting really excited about Sim Ant. Aliens vs. Predator. This is a childhood copy. I love this game. My brother and I used to pop in the Game Genie and just make it like infinite energy, because this game is actually pretty tough. We'll save that one. We've got ActRaiser and ActRaiser 2. My brother-in-law, Patrick, that's one of his favorite series. This is my childhood copy of Mega Man X. This is probably my favorite game on the Super Nintendo. I love this game. I have this game in every form almost that it came out on. I've got it for the GameCube, for the PS4, I think for the Xbox, and the, I don't know, wherever else you can get Mega Man X games, I've probably got this game. But yeah, I love this game. The Secret of Evermore, a game that I recently added to the collection for free. Very nice. Mystic Quest Final Fantasy. Heard that's like a Final Fantasy or RPG game for beginners, which is absolutely me. I don't really play a lot of turn-based RPGs. We have Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3. Got our Super Nintendo staples here. We got Contra 3, Super Metroid, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It's a fun game. Let me just slide that one to the bottom there. Legend of Zelda. My mom got me this game for Christmas a couple years ago. Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Gemfire. Picked that game up recently. So I wanted to talk about this game right here. This is Top Gear 3000. I bought this in a lot at a garage sale. When I saw it, I immediately recognized it as a more uncommon game. So I picked it up. That game at that time was going for like 25 bucks. Now the game's starting to get into the $40 range. But the reason I'm telling you guys about it is because it's a racing game, and it might get overlooked, you know, at a convention or your local store or garage sale, something like that. So keep an eye out for Top Gear 3000 for the Super Nintendo. All right, getting down to the end here. I love this game. Donkey Kong Country. Gotta have Donkey Kong Country 2, which I beat last year. Donkey Kong Country 3, which is on my list of games to beat this year. So, you got Super Nintendo, just get one of the Donkey Kong games. They're awesome. Super Mario RPG. Legend of the Seven Stars. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Awesome game, except for that whiny baby. You just want to punch that baby in the face. Super Mario Kart. I think this is my childhood copy. I'm actually pretty sure this is my childhood copy. So a lot of fun memories with Mario Kart. Super Mario All-Stars. This is my childhood copy of Mario All-Stars. Love it. Super Mario World. Now, in my opinion, this is the best Mario game. Although Super Mario Bros. 2 is my favorite Mario game. So, gotta have the Mario games on the Super Nintendo. Now we'll get to the more rarer, more obscure stuff. We've got Kirby's Dream Land 3 Got that off of a lady off of OfferUp or a Facebook group or something for 50 bucks. So it's more than I really want to spend on a Super Nintendo game, but it's actually a pretty rare game. I don't know if it'll ever get under $50, so we'll at least be able to make our money back when we decide to sell. Now this game was sent to me by Dinos Games 998, who is Chris is a great friend of the channel. He's been there for a long time, been a supporter of the channel for a long time. And he was like, hey, I picked up an extra copy of this game for dirt cheap. Do you want it? I'm like, yes, please. So he sent me, and I still owe him. So Dino, if you see a game that you need, let me know, buddy. But he sent us a copy of Final Fight 3, which is awesome. You guys know this is like a $100 game. It's got a Blockbuster sticker on there or something, so that'll take off the value a little bit, but still awesome. Awesome to get that. Love the YouTube community. Got this game off of Craigslist a long time ago, and when I started collecting Super Nintendo, I was like, man, this is one of those games I really want to get, and I was able to cross it off the list early into my, like, I guess hardcore Super Nintendo collecting, although I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore Super Nintendo collector. I just kind of get them when I find them. But I found a great deal on this game right here. It is Demon's Crest. It's in a universal game case with the printed out cover art. There's the cartridge. It was awesome. I remember I made that deal in the parking lot of Warp Zone Games in Hilliard, and then immediately went into Warp Zone Games and we hooked it up and played it on their big TV. So that was awesome. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. We'll just put that right there. All right, the game that started all, the reason why you are watching a YouTube channel right now, that game is Mega Man X2. I walked into a pawn shop one day. They had some games. They wanted $5 a piece. I knew I wanted X2. I knew it was a rare game. I love Mega Man anyway, so picked that up for $5. I also picked up Kirby Superstar Saga. Went out to my car, sat down. I was watching YouTube for years before that, and I thought, you know, I should also make pickup videos. And then the very next video that I shot was the Demon's Crest video. But we were at VGMX a couple months ago, maybe 5-6 months ago, and they had another copy of Mega Man X2, and they wanted 60 bucks for it. So I had a $5 off coupon, and then you get 10% off if you pay in cash. So we ended up getting it for about 50 bucks. So I'm not going to pass on another copy of Mega Man X2 for 50 bucks. To round this out, I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I had like in boxes and stuff. I've got Pit Fighter. This has the manual and stuff in there, but I do not have the game for it. It's one of those things where it's like the game is dirt cheap. You know, you can get that game for $4 or $5, but I don't want to pay $4 or $5 for it. I want to find it in a lot and get it for free. Super Adventure Island, again, another universal game case. There she is in there. Forgot about that one. We've got NCAA basketball. Tecmo Super NBA basketball, that's what I said. We've got Hyperzone, Pilot Wings complete, and Space Invaders, which is awesome. I actually need to play that game a little bit more. We've got Virtual Bart. For you Simpsons nuts, loved this game back in the day, Sim City. My brother and I used to build on this for hours. Actually, we need to live stream that. We need a live stream of Sim City. We've got Super Castlevania 4. Now, funny story about this one is I got the cartridge in here from the Woodbury and Retro Game Hunter. And Jeff, Mr. Tight White on YouTube, was kind enough to send us the box. So really what I'm looking for is a manual for Super Castlevania 4. So if anybody has a manual for Castlevania 4 and they want to trade, let me know. Same goes for this game right here. When I bought that Super Nintendo, I'm looking over there because that's where it usually is. When I bought this Super Nintendo, inside the console wasn't in there, but where the console would be was the mintiest box I've ever seen for any game ever. And it had been sitting in there for like 20-something years, you know. So I've got the mint condition cartridge, the mint condition box, and all that stuff. I need a mint condition manual for my Mario Kart so I can make that game complete. I do have a couple accessories. I'm not going to drag them out. I've got the Super Game Boy, Super Game Genie. I've got the Aurora Interactor over there, still in the box sealed. But I did pick up the Super Nintendo Mini. I think I got that for Christmas, so I didn't really pick it up. But I got that for Christmas. Great console. If you ever get a chance to buy one of these, definitely buy the Super Nintendo one. I think it's much better value, but Anyway, guys, that is going to do it. That is my Super Nintendo collection, 176 games, if you can believe it. And I'm just a casual Super Nintendo collector. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite Super Nintendo game is. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Alright, well, man, back on the shelf. Gotta put these away. Wonder what collection video we're gonna do next.